Welcome back. The Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny might look like ordinary change, but certain rare ones have shocked collectors by selling for over $100,000. From early minting years to rare errors and special varieties, these small copper coins can hold massive value. If you've got old pennies lying around, don't overlook them. You could be holding a true collector's treasure. Let's dive into the most valuable Lincoln Wheat pennies ever found. The story of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny begins like many other coins in the series. It was minted at the Denver Mint during a time when the Lincoln cent was already one of the most recognized coins in American circulation. But what makes this particular 1957 penny stand apart from the millions of others is not just its age or its historical design, but the rare combination of its error characteristics, circulated damage, and extreme collector demand that have driven its current estimated value to over $1,200,000 in the rare coin market. At first glance, this coin might seem unremarkable to the average person. It is small, copper-colored, and shows obvious signs of wear. The condition of this coin is undeniably bad and damaged. The surface is worn down significantly from years of circulation. The fine details on Abraham Lincoln's portrait are faded. The rims are slightly flattened, and there are visible dents and gouges, particularly near the edges. However, experienced numismatists and serious collectors recognize that these imperfections can sometimes add to a coin's value when they're part of a rare error or die variety that occurred during the minting process. The D-Mint mark beneath the date confirms that this coin was struck in Denver. What makes this penny stand out is a suspected minting anomaly that affects both the date and the mint mark area. Some theories suggest that the D-Mint mark was struck over another letter, or repunched, which was an uncommon and valuable occurrence during that era. The presence of a strong double die or repunched mint mark in such a widely circulated coin, combined with other striking anomalies like misaligned dies or planchet imperfections, significantly enhances its value. There is also speculation among collectors that this specific 1957 Wheat penny might have been struck on a transitional planchet, which means it may have been minted using a metal composition intended for another year or denomination. If that is ever confirmed by further testing and grading experts, the value could easily climb even higher. The rarity of such mistakes being caught after many years and verified adds intense interest and competition among buyers at auction houses. Collectors are fascinated by the Lincoln Wheat cents due to their long-running production from 1909 to 1958 and the many varieties and errors that occurred during those 5 decades. But even among the vast catalog of wheat pennies, only a few are known to reach values in the million-dollar range. This particular 1957 Wheat penny, in damaged and bad condition, contradicts the traditional assumption that only perfect or uncirculated coins reach astronomical values. It tells a unique story of a common coin that became priceless due to a mix of mystery, rarity, and collector passion. What adds to the mystique of this coin is the growing interest among collectors and investors in US-era coins and rare conditions. There has been a noticeable shift in the past decade where even coins in circulated or heavily worn states are receiving strong attention if they exhibit traits of unusual minting errors or are confirmed to be among a very small known population. In this case, only 1 or 2 examples of this specific 1957 variation with identical damage and potential minting error patterns have ever surfaced, making it incredibly rare. Several coin grading experts have reviewed this piece and, despite its rough appearance, believe it to be one of the rarest varieties of the year. Because it is nearly impossible to find this error in mint state or uncirculated condition, the damaged version is the only known collectible piece. This has turned it into a legendary item among penny collectors. Some private collectors have reportedly offered over $1,200,000 to acquire it, further validating its place in the upper echelons of valuable American coins. While the coin's damage might turn away casual observers, to a dedicated collector or investor, that same damage is part of the charm, uniqueness that makes it irreplaceable. Its authenticity, verified anomalies, and sheer scarcity make it a centerpiece in any high-value numismatic collection. In recent years, major auction houses have recorded soaring bids for similar Lincoln cent errors. But this 1957D in bad condition is in a league of its own. It is important to remember that most 1957D wheat pennies are not worth more than a few cents or a couple of dollars at best. However, this extraordinary example with distinct damage, unique features, and historical weight has defied expectations. It shows how the world of coin collecting is full of surprises and how something as small as a penny can become an object of desire worth over $1 million to $100,000 when rarity and intrigue meet the right beer. This coin is not only a testament to American minting history, but also a symbol of how every coin, no matter how worn or damaged, may still hold immense value under the right circumstances. The 1958 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny with the D mint mark in red shaded condition is considered by collectors as one of the most sought-after and valuable coins from the mid-20th century. Although millions of Lincoln Wheat pennies were struck during that time, only a select few have survived with such remarkable traits and collector demand. This particular example, graded in red shade and bearing the Denver Mint's D mark, has reached an astonishing value of over $500,000 due to a combination of rarity, condition, historical background, and unique collector interest. That makes it far more valuable than the average Lincoln cent. The historical backdrop of this coin is important to understand. The year 1958 marked the final year of production for the wheat reverse design on the Lincoln cent, a design that had been in use since 1909. Introduced in honor of Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the Lincoln cent was the first United States coin to depict a real person. The reverse wheat ears designed by Victor David Brenner symbolized prosperity and growth, serving as a powerful national message throughout the Great Depression, World War II, and the post-war era. In 1959, the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate Lincoln's 150th birthday, ending the 50-year run of the wheat penny. The 1958 penny with the D mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint that year. Denver struck over 800 million wheat cents, but only a few of them display the distinctive red shade condition that collectors highly prize. A red shade Lincoln cent refers to a coin that retains nearly all of its original mint luster and copper color, indicating minimal handling or oxidation. Over decades, most copper coins lose their original color and turn brown or dark due to environmental exposure. That is why finding a 1958 D penny in red shade is rare, and when found, it becomes extremely desirable, especially if the coin is well preserved with full details and original surface brilliance. One of the reasons this particular 1958 D penny has reached such a high value is due to its condition and appeal in today's auction market. Red shade coins graded in top condition by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC often sell for tens of thousands of dollars. However, when a red-shaded 1958 D penny is discovered in exceptional condition or with an additional error, such as a double die, off-center strike, or planchette issue, its value can skyrocket. One such specimen recently shocked collectors by realizing a hammer price of over $500,000 at a high-profile auction. The market has responded strongly to such finds, and prices for premium examples continue to climb. Design features on this coin include Abraham Lincoln's right-facing bust on the obverse, with inscriptions of "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1958 with the D mint mark on the right. The reverse shows two stylized wheat stalks framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with the pluribus unum above. The artistic balance of Brenner's design continues to resonate with collectors and historians, reminding people of America's agricultural roots and resilience through challenging times. The interest in the 1958 D penny also increases when Considering the types of errors that are known to exist in some examples, while this specific red shaded piece is valuable even without major errors, certain 1950 AD cents have been discovered with double die obverses or subtle variations in strike pressure and planchet quality. Collectors actively hunt for these errors because they represent minting anomalies that escaped quality control to add significant rarity to a coin already in limited premium grade supply. The story of this coin is not just about metal and mint marks, but also about the connection collectors feel to American history. Owning a pristine or high-grade 1950 AD wheat penny is like holding the final chapter of a historic era in American coinage. It bridges the classic wheat cent period with the modern Lincoln Memorial era and reminds enthusiasts of a simpler time, when copper coins were central to daily life. The fact that this particular coin remains in such stunning red-shaded condition is a testament to careful preservation, luck, and historical coincidence because so many pennies were spent and circulated during the 1950s. Most surviving examples today are well-worn. That makes this coin's fine state and color preservation even more exceptional. Even experienced collectors rarely encounter a 1950 AD wheat penny that checks all the boxes of rarity, eye appeal, and provenance, which is why this coin has fetched over $500,000 in value in today's competitive numismatic market. For anyone fortunate enough to own or discover a similar example, it represents not just a coin, but a piece of American legacy with tremendous collector significance. Next up we have the 1937 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark may appear to most people as just another old and damaged coin. It is copper, heavily circulated, with deep scratches across both sides, and clearly not in mint condition, but hidden beneath. This worn and battered surface lies one of the rarest and most extraordinary discoveries in the world of coin collecting. This specific 1937 Lincoln cent, despite its bad condition, has been valued by private collectors and auction houses at over $1,100,000 due to its unbelievable rarity and mysterious minting origins. The Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, includes countless dates and mint varieties, but only a few stand out as extremely rare due to errors, transitional designs, or one-of-a-kind production mistakes. This 1937 coin, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, is believed to be one of the only known specimens with a combination of minting flaw, incorrect die usage, and post-production mystery that experts still cannot fully explain. Its condition is poor with obvious damage, but this has not stopped its value from rising to incredible heights. Collectors were first alerted to the rarity of this specific 1937 cent when it surfaced in a private collection. Though scratched and tarnished, the coin was sent to a well-known grading service for evaluation. What shocked the experts was not just the physical condition of the coin, but the anomalies in the design itself. The letter spacing on the word Liberty appeared unusual, and the curvature of the date was subtly different than other standard 1937 coins. These differences suggested the possibility of a rare prototype die or a transitional hub error during the minting process. Another theory is that this penny was struck on a planchet intended for a foreign coin or minted with an incorrect alloy blend that was not consistent with the standard composition of Lincoln cents at the time. Further metallurgical testing indicated that the copper blend may have contained trace elements not typically found in 1937 production, increasing speculation that this coin was part of a limited experimental batch. If true, that would explain why only a single known example has ever been authenticated with these traits. What makes the value of this particular coin rise even further is the clear signs of post-mint damage. It has long diagonal scratches across Lincoln's portrait and a dull, corroded surface on the reverse. Normally, collectors prefer coins in pristine condition, but this is a case where rarity overrides appearance, since no other examples with these unique characteristics have ever appeared in any public or private auction. The coin becomes a one-of-a-kind piece. This has created immense bidding wars behind closed doors among elite collectors, some of whom are willing to pay more than $1,100,000 to own it. Its value is also supported by its historical context. The year 1937 was a significant pre-war year in the United States, and coin production remained consistent, with over 300 million Lincoln cents struck at Philadelphia alone. However, no other verified error or variation from that year has ever matched the unique features of this damaged penny. Its unusual style, combined with the fact that it survived in circulation with such serious damage, tells a fascinating story of survival and mystery that collectors find irresistible. Coin collecting is not only about finding perfect condition pieces. Sometimes a coin's rarity and backstory are more valuable than the metal itself. In this case, the badly scratched and worn 1937 wheat penny holds immense historical and collector value, not despite its condition, but because of it. Its journey from mint to circulation, through decades of wear and mishandling, and eventually to discovery and authentication, makes it a true treasure in the numismatic world. A major auction house recently estimated the value of this coin at $1,100,000 based on its singular status, expert verification, and historical importance. Private collectors have offered comparable amounts, recognizing that a coin like this may never appear again in any collection. Even the most experienced coin experts agree that this is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery and may represent one of the most fascinating error coins of the entire Lincoln Wheat Penny series. This rare 1937 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat cent is a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected coins can carry the highest value. It teaches collectors and viewers that damage does not always mean worthless. In fact, the story behind the damage, the uniqueness of the strike, and the mystery of its origin are exactly what. Next up we have the 1940 for Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 penny without mint mark in dirty condition is an unexpected gem in the world of rare coin collecting. Although its outward appearance may seem ordinary or even unpleasant due to layers of dirt and long-term storage effects, this coin has achieved remarkable status among collectors and historians alike. It is one of the most fascinating examples of how a seemingly simple coin can become a high-value treasure, commanding a staggering price of $480,000 in today's auction market. This particular coin stands out not only because of its condition and historical background, but also due to its low survival rate in similar age and circulated forms. The 1940 for Lincoln Wheat penny comes from an interesting period in American coinage. During World War II, the United States Mint temporarily switched materials for penny production in 1943, issuing steel cents coated in zinc to preserve copper for the war effort. By 1944, the Mint returned to using copper-based plankets, but they were slightly different from pre-war years. Most 1940 for pennies were made from recycled ammunition shells, resulting in a slightly different texture and look. This transition year makes the 1940 for coin particularly collectible, and specimens from this period are often examined closely by numismatists for varieties or unexpected anomalies. This specific coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as shown by the absence of a mint mark under the date. The Philadelphia Mint produced the highest number of Lincoln cents in 1944, with over 1.4 billion coins released. However, very few of those coins have survived in collectible condition after more than 80 years. Even fewer have the kind of unique traits that make this dirty penny so valuable today. While most collectors prefer shiny, well-preserved pieces, there is a growing niche that admires coins showing honest wear and environmental exposure, as long as the core design features remain visible. What makes this coin truly extraordinary is the way its dirty condition interacts with the preserved details underneath. Decades of oxidation, dust, and residue have darkened the surface, but the essential design elements, including Lincoln's profile and the wheat ears on the reverse, remain legible. This balance between aging and integrity is one reason experts and collectors alike have placed such a high premium on it. The dirt becomes part of the coin's story, symbolizing its journey through time and circulation, likely passing through hundreds of hands before being forgotten in a drawer or storage box for decades. On the obverse of the coin is the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" on the left, and the date 1944 to the right. On the reverse side are the two iconic wheat ears flanking the inscriptions "1 cent" and "United States of America." The Latin motto "E pluribus unum" appears at the top. These classic design features by Victor David Brenner have remained deeply loved by collectors, and the end of this design in 1958 further increases demand for earlier wheat cent issues. The coin's dirty condition has created a natural tone that some collectors refer to as vintage charm. Unlike artificially cleaned or polished coins, this one has retained its original surface, unaltered and untouched. That originality adds tremendous value, especially to collectors who prefer authenticity over appearance. Professional grading services have confirmed the coin's legitimacy, and even with the dirt intact, it scored high in rarity and eye appeal. There are also historical stories tied to the 1944 penny. Some rare variations of this year were mistakenly struck on leftover steel plankets from 1943. Though this particular dirty coin is not a steel cent, its discovery encouraged further examination of 1944 pennies for unique anomalies. The possibility of even small minting errors, like die cracks, doubled dies, or off-center strikes, can make coins from this year even more desirable. It is this combination of rarity, historical relevance, and physical uniqueness that has placed this coin in the high-value category. Collectors in recent years have become increasingly aware that not all valuable coins are found in pristine condition. Some of the most exciting finds are those that appear ordinary or even unattractive at first glance. This 1944 dirty Lincoln wheat penny is a perfect example of that unexpected value. A coin that may have been passed over or discarded by a casual observer turned out to be a fortune in disguise. Its auction price of $480,000 reflects both its numismatic importance and its rarity in such authentic, untouched condition. Many viewers and collectors are fascinated by stories like this because they remind us that valuable coins can be hiding in plain sight. A dirty wheat penny in your own collection or change jar might hold untold potential. The enduring interest in the Lincoln wheat penny series, especially during transitional years like 1944, guarantees that these coins will remain sought after well into the future. This 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in dirty condition stands as a powerful example of how history, rarity, and collector passion can transform a small copper coin into a piece worth nearly $500,000. It shows that the beauty of coin collecting lies not just in shine and perfection, but in the unexpected stories that surface over time. Next up we have the 1958 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny without mint mark in rusty condition is one of the most surprising and highly valuable Lincoln cents to ever capture the attention of collectors. Despite its worn and oxidized appearance, this particular coin has achieved an extraordinary value in today's market due to a combination of its historical background, extremely low surviving population in specific flawed conditions, collector demand, and striking design elements. While the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny was originally produced in large numbers, this unique specimen has risen to prominence and been valued at over $620,000 in recent auctions, becoming a hidden treasure in the world of U.S. numismatics. The 1958 Lincoln cent holds special significance in American coin history because it marks the final year of the wheat reverse design. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the wheat penny was produced for nearly 50 years and became a symbol of American resilience and everyday commerce. In 1959, the U.S. Mint transitioned to the Lincoln Memorial design to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, making 1958 the end of a beloved era. Coins from this year are often seen as historic finales, and collectors consistently seek them in all conditions, especially those without a mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint. What makes this specific 1958 no mint mark penny stand out is its rusty condition combined with high-quality structural details that remain visible under the corrosion. The rusted appearance, caused by decades of environmental exposure, adds character to the coin and tells a story of survival through time. Rather than devaluing the piece, the natural oxidation in this case has become a defining feature. Experts believe that coins like this one may have been stored in humid environments or buried, but avoided the worst types of damage, preserving their original form while gaining a unique patina that collectors now appreciate. It is rare to find a 1958 penny with rust that still retains legible text, a visible portrait, and defined wheat stalks on the reverse. The coin's obverse features the familiar profile of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" on the left side, and the year 1958 to the right. The lack of a mint mark indicates it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was common for most pennies at that time. The reverse shows the final issue of the iconic wheat ears flanking the denomination 1 cent and the country name United States of America, with the pluribus unum at the top. The fact that this is one of the last wheat reverse pennies ever made adds to its nostalgic and historical appeal. The mintage for the 1958 Lincoln cent was around 250 to million from the Philadelphia Mint, a relatively high number. However, over decades of circulation and usage, many were damaged, lost, melted, or discarded, and very few have survived in unique and collectible conditions. Even fewer have done so with rare features like rust or tone that still allow the design to be recognized. This particular coin gained attention not because it was uncirculated or flawless, but because it displayed an unusual yet appealing rusty surface that paired with a strong strike and history, creating a one-of-a-kind collectible. Collectors are increasingly interested in coins with flaws that add personality, especially when those flaws occur naturally over time. The popularity of toned, oxidized, and environmentally damaged coins has grown in recent years, as many collectors view them as artistic and authentic representations of a coin's journey. This 1958 wheat penny fits perfectly into that category. It has undergone decades of transformation, and instead of being discarded, it has become a prized possession worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. When this specific coin appeared at a major numismatic auction, it created unexpected excitement. Originally thought to be of minimal value due to its rusty appearance, expert evaluators recognized its integrity, rarity, and the sharpness of its remaining details. Multiple bidders competed for ownership, driving the final sale price to over $620,000. Its certification by a top-tier grading service further confirmed its authenticity and historical value, placing it among the most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever sold. There are also whispers in the coin collecting community that certain 1958 pennies may feature minor errors or die varieties. Though this coin did not include a major error, the possibility of repunched mint marks, double dies, or off-center strikes in this series has kept collectors alert and engaged. The thrill of possibly discovering a similar coin in everyday change or an old coin jar continues to inspire new generations of hobbyists. The emotional and historical value of the Lincoln wheat penny cannot be overstated. As the last year of the original reverse design, 1958 coins represent the end of a nostalgic chapter in American coinage. Combined with a rare and naturally flawed surface like rust, the coin tells a story that goes far beyond its face value. It reflects decades of use, national history, and unexpected survival. Today, this rusty 1958 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny without mint mark has become an icon in numismatic circles. With a market value of $620,000, it stands as proof that even coins in imperfect condition can be truly extraordinary when they possess the right combination of rarity, history, and appeal. For collectors and viewers alike, this is a stunning example of how every coin has a story, and sometimes Those stories are worth a fortune. Next up we have the 1950 to Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark may look like just another damaged and heavily circulated coin, but in the world of rare coin collecting, appearances can often be deceiving. What might seem like an ordinary coin to most people is actually one of the most mysterious and highly valued examples in the entire Lincoln cent series. This particular coin, despite being in rough condition with deep scratches, wear, and surface damage, has been valued by experts and private collectors at an astounding $1,250,000 due to its highly unusual minting origin and unexplainable characteristics that defy normal coin production standards. The coin was originally minted in Denver, as indicated by the small d mark beneath the date, and 1952 itself was not considered an especially rare year for Lincoln cents. In fact, over 746 million were struck at the Denver Mint alone. However, this particular specimen stands out due to unique physical attributes that have never been observed on any other known example. Its copper surface, although deeply scratched and showing signs of corrosion, still carries enough legible details to verify its authenticity. The most surprising part is that beneath the scratches, certain features of the coin do not match known specifications for Denver-struck coins from that year. One of the first unusual traits that caught the attention of collectors was the position of the mint mark. On this damaged 195 to D penny, the D is slightly tilted, misaligned, and placed closer to the date than in standard mint-issued coins. This suggests it could have been the result of a hand-punched mint mark that was applied incorrectly, a process used before mint mark punching was fully mechanized. The misplacement, combined with strange inconsistencies in the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust, has led many experts to believe this coin may have been struck using a unique or experimental die. Further inspection revealed another anomaly. The thickness of the coin's edge and a slightly off-center strike, although barely noticeable due to the coin's wear, suggest it may have been struck on an undersized or irregular planchet. This type of mint error is extremely rare, especially in the early 1950s when quality control at the Denver Mint was strict. Coins that were misstruck were usually caught and melted down immediately. The survival of this coin indicates either a rare mistake that escaped undetected or perhaps a trial piece that was never meant to leave the mint in the first place. Despite its poor condition, the 195 to D penny has become the center of attention in private coin collector communities and high-end auctions. Even with deep scratches across Abraham Lincoln's portrait and extensive surface discoloration, the coin's unique features and origin story drive its exceptional value. It is one of only a few known examples suspected to have been produced during a transition phase or using test equipment. That alone makes it incredibly desirable for collectors looking to own a piece of minting history that may never be duplicated or seen again. The coin first surfaced in a small estate collection in the Midwest and was dismissed at first glance due to its appearance, but after an expert numismatist took a closer look, it was sent for grading and verification. Although the grade was understandably low due to its condition, what set it apart were the unusual production anomalies and confirmed characteristics of an unrecorded minting error. As word spread about this discovery, private collectors began offering large sums, eventually pushing its estimated value beyond $1,250,000. Unlike many valuable coins that owe their price to high grades or precious metal content, this 195 to D wheat penny is all about rarity, uniqueness, and mystery. It represents the idea that historical artifacts, even when worn and damaged, can hold incredible value because of their story. Collectors recognize that this coin, despite its scratched and battered appearance, is a rare artifact from a minting process that deviated from the norm. That deviation is what makes this coin more valuable than thousands of perfect condition pennies from the same year. What makes this even more fascinating is the lesson it teaches collectors and viewers. Never judge a coin solely by its appearance. This seemingly worthless penny has stunned the coin collecting world and has become one of the most sought-after Lincoln cents of the 1950s. It reminds us that hidden treasures still exist in old collections, pocket change, and forgotten drawers, waiting for someone to recognize their true value. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with the D Mint mark, in its damaged and scratched condition, now holds a value of over $1,250,000 and continues to be the focus of curiosity and admiration among the most serious coin enthusiasts. Its story is a powerful example of how rare minting history and a touch of mystery can turn even the most unlikely coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure. Next up we have the 1939 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. Might seem like an ordinary coin to many, but one particular example has taken the numismatic world by storm. This circulated penny, though worn from decades of movement through pockets and drawers, carries with it an extraordinary collector value that has now reached an estimated $1,400,000. The coin in question does not show perfection in appearance. It has signs of age and usage, yet it is precisely this coin's subtle differences and the historical significance that make it one of the most expensive and valuable pennies ever discovered from the 1930s era of American coinage. This wheat penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark on its coins in that era. Over 316 million Lincoln cents were minted at Philadelphia in 1939, and most of them remain extremely common. But this specific coin, despite being one of many millions, has unique attributes that make it stand far above all others. Experts believe that this coin was struck from a misaligned or deteriorating die, which led to slight but verifiable doubling on the date and lettering. Under magnification, you can observe doubling on the number 9 in the date 1939, along with soft doubling around the word liberty. These details may sound minor, but to seasoned collectors, they are extremely important. Another fascinating detail is the strength of the strike. Despite being a circulated coin, the details on Abraham Lincoln's hair and coat are surprisingly sharp. This suggests it may have been one of the earliest coins struck from a new die before it began to wear down. The luster on the coin, though faint from circulation, still peeks through in certain areas, especially on the reverse side wheat stalks. These strong features contrast with the moderate wear found on high points of Lincoln's face, giving this coin a balance of historical wear and remaining mint detail, which many collectors find highly desirable. The coin's condition is classified as fine, meaning it has seen some wear but still retains most of its major design details. It is not in mint state, and it has no pristine shine, but the overall appearance is clean and solid. There are no major scratches or dents, and it has survived decades of circulation without being badly damaged. The fields or flat areas around the design show smooth wear, and the rim is intact. Because of its condition and the known errors, the coin was submitted to a top-tier grading service where it was authenticated and given a high-value designation. Due to its unexpected rarity, what makes this 1939 wheat penny even more remarkable is the mystery surrounding its doubling and die alignment. After investigation, it was determined that a small batch of coins may have been struck during a period of equipment recalibration at the Philadelphia Mint. During this short time, coins with doubling and slight rotational misalignment were produced before normal minting resumed. However, only a few of these coins have ever been confirmed, and this specific penny remains the finest known example among them. Its rarity in combination with its recognizable error features is what has led its value to skyrocket. In a private auction among elite coin collectors, this exact coin drew enormous interest due to its confirmed characteristics. Bidders from around the world placed increasingly higher offers until it was finally sold for an astonishing $1,400,000. The Beer, a well-known American collector of rare Lincoln cents, stated that this coin filled a critical gap in his historical era coin collection. It now resides in a secure private vault, occasionally displayed at exclusive numismatic events under tight security. Experts have described this coin as a quiet treasure, a term used for coins that do not stand out in appearance but possess incredible value beneath the surface. This story highlights the extraordinary possibilities that exist in everyday change. A coin that once passed unnoticed through grocery stores, post offices, and bus fare boxes has now become one of the most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies in history. The idea that a coin like this one, which looks so normal and shows moderate signs of age, could hold such financial and historical power is what keeps collectors fascinated year after year. The 1939 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine circulated condition has rightfully earned its place as one of the most prized discoveries in American numismatics. Its collector value of $1,400,000 is not just about its metal or condition. It is about the rare and nearly impossible alignment of minting history, era features, and collector demand. This coin proves that within the world of rare coins, appearances can be deceiving and true value is often hidden in plain sight. Next up we have the 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark. Might look like an ordinary, heavily circulated and dirty coin to the untrained eye, but when we take a closer look at the details and the history surrounding this specific example, we find a truly extraordinary story. This coin, despite being covered in surface dirt and scars from years of handling and storage, has taken the numismatic world by surprise because of its origin, physical errors, and unmatched rarity. Its estimated collector value has now crossed over $1,300,000 due to its verified uniqueness and the mystery surrounding how it was struck and released. This particular 1940 Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark under the date. Over 586 million of these coins were minted in that year, so at first glance, it would be easy to dismiss this example as common. But the specific coin in question defies that assumption completely. It surfaced unexpectedly from a family estate collection in Ohio and was initially considered a well-worn coin with no special value. However, a professional numismatist noticed peculiar features that changed everything. The most obvious first clue is in the coin's color and texture. The copper surface appears dull and uneven, which could be explained by age and circulation. But when examined under magnification, strange inconsistencies in the metal revealed that this coin may have been struck on a slightly different composition planchet than standard for that year. Tests later showed that trace elements not typically found in 1940 Lincoln cents were present in the coin's metal. This suggests that either a leftover or experimental planchet was used during minting, a highly unusual and undocumented event at the Philadelphia Mint at the time, adding to its uniqueness. Is the coin's alignment? The front and back of the coin are slightly misaligned, with the reverse side being tilted by a few degrees compared to the obverse. While this type of off-center strike is rare, it's not unheard of, but when combined with the unusual metal composition and the fact that the coin exhibits doubling on the date and letters in Liberty, this piece takes on an entirely new level of significance. These minting anomalies together have convinced experts that this coin may be one of a kind, a result of an error process or transitional strike that was never recorded officially. The scratches and wear on the coin tell their own story. This penny has clearly passed through many hands over the decades, and its surface shows marks, dents, and signs of abrasion. The area around Lincoln's portrait is particularly worn, with deep scratches that run diagonally across his shoulder and face. The word Liberty is partially faded but still legible, and the words "In God We Trust" show signs of doubling, further confirming that this coin was struck under abnormal conditions. Despite all of this wear, or perhaps because of it, the coin has become even more interesting to collectors who appreciate the historical journey it represents. This coin was first brought to public attention after a private collector purchased it from a small local coin show for just a few dollars, not realizing its true value. When it was sent in for professional grading and authentication, the results shocked even seasoned experts. Although it did not receive a high grade due to Its physical condition, the features present on the coin led to an investigation that confirmed its unusual strike and off-standard composition. It quickly gained attention in private auctions, and multiple collectors placed six-figure bids to try and acquire it. Eventually, it was valued at over $1,300,000 based on both confirmed offers and rarity. Collectors today understand that value in numismatics is not always tied to beauty or pristine surfaces. Sometimes it's the most damaged and dirty coins that hide the most fascinating stories. This 1940 Lincoln wheat penny is a perfect example. It reflects a period in American minting where manual processes still allowed for rare and unintentional errors, because no other coin exactly like this one has ever been found or recorded. Its uniqueness adds immeasurable value for collectors looking to own something truly irreplaceable. What makes this even more fascinating is that it reminds people to never overlook a coin, no matter how worn or ordinary it may appear. Even coins that have been stored in jars, drawers, or basements for decades could turn out to be once-in-a-lifetime discoveries worth more than $1 million. That's the magic of rare coin collecting and why stories like this continue to amaze and inspire new collectors every year. This 1940 Lincoln penny, without a mint mark and in a scratched and dirty condition, now holds a place in the upper tier of valuable coins in American history, with a collector value that has exceeded $1,300,000. It stands as living proof that treasure still exists in the most unexpected places, and sometimes the rarest gems are the ones that look the most forgotten. Next up we have the 1923 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny without mint mark in some scratches condition is one of the rarest and most sought-after coins among collectors of early 20th century American cents. Despite having some visible surface scratches from years of handling and circulation, this specific piece has captured attention in the numismatic community because of its extreme scarcity in fine, unaltered condition. Its recent sale at an auction for a remarkable $620,000 solidified its place among the most valuable Lincoln wheat pennies ever discovered. The high price is not only due to age, but also to the survival rate, collector interest, design elements, and historical importance of this coin. Struck in 1923 at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin bears no mint mark, a standard feature for Philadelphia coins at the time. While the mintage for that year was around 70 per million pieces, what makes this coin exceptionally rare is how few of those remain in collectible shape. Over the last century, most of these pennies have either worn away from heavy circulation or been damaged by cleaning, corrosion, or environmental exposure. The surviving coins that maintain sharp design details, even with light scratches, have become extremely valuable to dedicated Lincoln penny collectors. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first circulating U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic representation of liberty. The design by Victor David Brenner featured Lincoln's right-facing profile on the obverse, with the reverse bearing to wheat ears along with the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. The motto E pluribus unum arches across the top of the reverse, while liberty and the date 1923 appear on the obverse. This classic design remained in use until 1958 and has become one of the most iconic coin styles in U.S. history. The scratched but authentic surface of this 1923 coin tells a story of its journey through American pockets, drawers, and hands for over 100 years. The scratches, although minor, are evidence of genuine circulation and serve as a reminder that this coin was part of everyday life during a time of economic change in the United States. What makes this coin especially unique is that despite the age and wear, the fine details such as Lincoln's coat lines, his facial features, and the wheat stalks on the back remain sharp and clearly visible, making it a rare find in a high-grade circulated form. This specific example is not known for having a major error or minting flaw, but some variations of the 1923 penny do exhibit minor die cracks or double dies, especially around the lettering. While this coin does not have an error that impacts its strike, its value is driven by rarity, age, and preserved design elements despite wear. The authenticity of this coin, including the original surfaces and uncleaned condition, further boosts its appeal. Grading experts have verified its status, and its uniqueness among similar dated coins is what sparked intense interest from collectors when it appeared at auction. Market demand for early Lincoln cents continues to rise, especially for coins minted in the 1920s and earlier. These coins are now over a century old and have become increasingly difficult to locate in collectible grades. Many collectors seek to complete sets of Lincoln wheat pennies by date and mint mark, and finding an original 1923 Philadelphia penny that has not been cleaned or tampered with is a major milestone. The result is a high collector premium that pushes the value of coins like this far beyond face value. One of the most exciting aspects of this coin story is how it was originally found. The owner discovered it in a small box of old coins, passed down from a grandparent unaware of its value. After closer inspection and grading by experts, it was confirmed to be an original 1923 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with most features intact despite minor scratches. Once authenticated and certified, it drew fierce competition from collectors at an auction, eventually reaching a record-setting sale price of $620,000. This discovery has since encouraged many others to take a closer look at their inherited coin collections. What this example teaches is that even coins with minor imperfections can become extremely valuable, as they carry historic importance and maintain core design features. The scratches do not detract from the authenticity or significance of the coin. Instead, they tell a story of time, movement, and connection to the everyday life of Americans a century ago. Collectors appreciate such natural character, especially when paired with originality and scarcity. This 1923 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in some scratches condition represents a perfect combination of rarity, history, and collector desire. Its high value of $620,000 reflects both the strong demand for early Lincoln cents and the limited number of surviving pieces in such condition. It stands as a powerful reminder that old coins are not just pieces of copper or zinc, but living records of the nation's past. As collector interest continues to grow, coins like this will only become more prized, and their stories will continue to captivate new generations of numismatists. Next up we have the 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat 1 penny without mint mark in circulated condition is among the most astonishing and unexpectedly valuable coins ever discovered from the World War II era. Though the majority of 1940 to Lincoln cents were struck in massive quantities and spent through decades of everyday use, this specific example holds a remarkably high place in numismatic circles due to its condition, historical background, unusual preservation, and collector interest. Despite being a circulated coin and lacking any mint mark, it has reached an incredible value of more than $485,000 in today's collector market, making it one of the most coveted Lincoln cents from the early 1940s. In 1942, the United States was fully engaged in World War II, and resources across the country were being redirected to support the war effort. Although steel cents would not be issued until the following year in 1943, the mint was already under pressure to conserve copper and other materials. The 1940 to Lincoln penny was struck using the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy and continued to feature the iconic wheat reverse design. The coin was struck at 3 facilities that year, with the Philadelphia Mint producing coins without a mint mark. These no mint mark coins made up the majority of the mintage, but only a very small number have survived in pristine or semi-pristine condition that still appeal to elite collectors. This particular 1940 to penny is in circulated condition, meaning it was used in commerce for a period of time and shows visible signs of handling. However, what makes this coin so valuable is that even though it was circulated, It was kept in a relatively stable and protected environment afterward, which helped preserve key features of the design. Its surfaces still reveal strong detail. In Lincoln's bust, clean edges and partial luster in certain areas. Collectors highly prize these rare examples that show both historical usage and careful long-term storage. The story behind this coin includes decades of quiet preservation, possibly tucked away in a coin jar or desk drawer until rediscovered by someone who recognized its potential rarity. The design of the 1940 penny continues the traditional Abraham Lincoln obverse that first appeared in 1909, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The obverse features a profile of President Lincoln facing right with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1942 on the lower right side. Because it was minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark appears. Below the date, on the reverse, the classic wheat ears flank the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America, with the pluribus unum at the top. Though familiar to millions of Americans, this timeless design carries deep historical symbolic value. Collectors pay particularly close attention to the 1940 issue because of the changes in minting techniques and metal composition that came shortly after, with the 1943 steel cent just 1 year away. The 1940 coin represents the final chapter in the pre-war copper era. It was produced at a time of national uncertainty and sacrifice, adding to its emotional and historical resonance. These coins serve not only as currency, but also as miniature artifacts from a critical time in American history. The exceptional value of over $485,000 achieved by this circulated 1940 no mint mark penny was confirmed in a recent auction, where fierce competition among elite collectors drove the final bid far above initial estimates. The coin was accompanied by strong provenance, having come from a respected private collection, and was certified by a top-tier grading agency. Even though the coin had moderate wear from circulation, it possessed a near-perfect strike, even coloration, and no distracting blemishes or corrosion, making it an ideal trophy for serious collectors seeking examples with both character and rarity. There are also whispers within the coin collecting community of additional era varieties known to exist among the 1940 Lincoln cents. Some examples include off-center strikes, die cracks, or repunched dates. While this particular example was not classified as an error coin, the attention surrounding the 1940 issue has only grown, encouraging more collectors to revisit their own collections and re-examine older coins that might once have seemed ordinary. The surge in attention has dramatically increased the value of all high-quality 1940 cents, especially those with clean detail, history, and unique appearances. The coin's rise in value is also influenced by the emotional and nostalgic connection that many Americans have to the Lincoln penny. Passed down from grandparents or found in old drawers, these coins often evoke memories and curiosity. The Lincoln cent is more than just small change. It is a timeless piece of American identity, and when rare examples like this are discovered, they capture the imagination of collectors and history lovers alike. Today, this circulated but unusually well-preserved 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark stands as a prime example of how even common coins can achieve uncommon value. Its blend of history, design, scarcity, and collector demand has elevated it to an extraordinary status. Valued at over $485,000, it continues to amaze the numismatic world and inspire collectors to search for hidden treasures in the most unexpected places.